What's your biggest fear? Perhaps that's one of the worst questions. Maybe even a question we shouldn't dare ask strangers, even acquaintances that we're not yet fully intimate with. Because that kind of question requires a profound level of trust before that can be answered, right? We're so scared of that question. We don't want to be vulnerable, right? Nowadays, is it just me? But it gets harder and harder to declare our devotions. It's so scary to proclaim things that we are passionate about because, I don't know, to me, it feels like waking up every day is like always thinking, what's going to be canceled today? Who's going to be canceled today? We are so petrified to know and discover that some bad things can be said about something that we are so profoundly passionate about. Admit it, come on. I'm inserting an alibi. Why? Because I actually finished this book quite early because it's that compelling. So I finished it somewhere along the middle of October, right? But I really procrastinated sitting down to record my thoughts about it. Why? Because, all right, October is not just Halloween. October is SB19's anniversary month, all right? So it's sort of inevitable that every day or so, the fear that I discussed earlier, SB19 is like the polar opposite of that. For some passions, we wake up being so scared and worried and anxious that there's something or someone who will be canceled. In SB19's case, every day you'll wake up like, oh my goodness, what achievement happened again today? Oh my goodness, what good news happened again today? What amazing event is it today? So I really delayed sitting down to discuss my thoughts about this book because I really, really want to bring along what I love about SB19 storytelling by telling you what I love about this book. It's similar, parallel to each other that I kept thinking about in the process of reading. And whoa, what an experience. And I thought, when this thing finally happened, I'm just SB19 being awarded at the National Library with this recognition. Could there be a more perfect alignment to me doing the reading club? I guess I'm honestly coming to terms with this, I don't know, discovery that perhaps a healthier way of looking at our passions, maybe there are several, okay, but here's one thing that could be considered as a healthier way, is not really looking at them as perfect. And I don't want that to be misinterpreted as downplaying or diminishing our expectations of them, because that'll be unfair. Let our dedication be a decision that no matter what delightful thing or devastating thing awaits later, the time, the energy that we spent being passionate will be worth it. That's something that we're going to regret. It will be worth it. And with SB19, quite an easy decision to make, an easy choice. Why are my introductions so long and sappy? I'm aware, okay? Sorry, not sorry. You've seen the thumbnail, so you're aware what I'm going to discuss, right? The scariest book that I've ever read so far, alright? Watch me prolong declaring what this book is for as much as I can. First, I want to thank the one who recommended this book to me, because this is a book that I purchased during my birthday book haul last year, alright? Because this is one of her recommendations for classics, right? Chenille Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. Thank you, because by the way, Chenille, she just recently posted a video where she sort of reorganized her bookshelves, and the audacity of this girl to really flex and show her SB19 mock photo cards. I'm so envious, Chanel. I'm so envious. I will talk about the things that I really, really adore about Fahrenheit 451. Making this, how many times have I said this year? But part of me really thought this is really gonna be it's final, right? By the time that I'm posting this, we're already at the edge. We're already gonna be November, right? We're so close to the end of the year, but so yeah, this is. I will talk about my favorite things about this book. There are so many, but I'm just gonna handpick my top favorites about Fahrenheit 451. Okay, and along with that, I'm also going to rave about Why? I'm so enchanted, always, by the storytelling provided to us with such richness by SB19. We're so blessed. We're so lucky, I swear. For me, there couldn't be a more straightforward way of starting this review, this talk, than deconstructing the design of vision and visuals. Admittedly, this one thing that I'm kind of, you know, feeling sort of very challenged about when it comes to our country's receptions, because we are so focused on visuals. Come on, be real. We're so guilty of that, right? Don't get me wrong, right? Don't misunderstand. I am not vilifying visuals, okay? It's great, all right? There's nothing wrong with looking gorgeous, all right? It's not a sin. We want to take care of ourselves and look great? Sure. My only concern is whenever our perception of focusing on visuals hinders us or becomes an obstacle with acknowledging the credit and credibility of talent and skills. Why? So, how do I link that with Fahrenheit 451? It's so engaging to me that quite the earliest chapters already presented me with a young adult character, a teenager, all right? Because here's the thing, Fahrenheit 451 was able to present to me a character that's not really just utterly unlikable, because that's one thing that I'm kind of hesitant about regarding YA books, because to me it's sort of like a desperate effort to make them look realistic by really just talking about all their flaws and all their errors just to make them realistic. Fahrenheit 451 was able to introduce us to a teenager who's a really great, marvelous thinker, who really challenged and championed to influence the mind of the protagonist, Guy Montag. Okay? And what could be a better accompaniment to that than linking that with SB19 Bunso? Alright? Justin, we are already praising him a lot for this, but we should talk more. We should talk more about Justin's visions. I mean, have we celebrated enough that he's really the creative director of the music video linked to their most recent accomplishment? Am I biased just because we graduated from the same university? Sure, not really. Not really. Yes, I also graduated from the La Salle College of St. Benil, right? And what I really admire about Justin is not just the fact that he graduated with honors for multimedia arts, right? I'm so amazed because multimedia arts is my first course that I took at CSB. Okay, I wasn't able to finish that course because after a year of studying multimedia arts at CSB, uh, there came a wake up call when it really finally sank on me that it's really not for me. Okay, so I stayed at CSB. I didn't transfer schools. I just shifted course. So from multimedia arts to consular and diplomatic affairs, and that's the degree I graduated with. And I, I'm I'm so incredibly proud of Justin for really pursuing his craft with his education. And you know what? In his songwriting, which we need more of, okay, because this boy has a lot of potential. Oh my goodness. I love that he really utilizes very visionary choice of words. At Kalakal, remember what he said?
Nakarinig ka na ba ng kwan? Yung nagrap ang isang di makabasa pinggan. Boses niya'y anghel pakinggan, mga salita'y nakikipagsuntukan.
It really cements the fact that Justin is capable. His vision is stellar. He is often regarded as prim and proper and pure. He looks like an angel, yes. I love his choice of words. But if he wants to choose violence, yes, he can. That random impromptu rap provoked by Stell asking him to defend himself.
Anong magagawa namin? Gusto lang naman namin kayong masiyahin dahil nakikinig na ang iyong mga ulo. Ano ang magagawa kung may tayo may trabaho
You get an insight to how this boy really knows the importance of their profession, of them doing their job. Sure, it may sound like an excuse, but it's still a very effective way of inserting how Maintaining cheer and stability in very trying times can be crucial and helpful. Oh my goodness, this is our bunso for his age. So much more in store. I'm quite happy my choice of words as well because I just said the word, right? What a very fancy way to interconnect my next point. I said age. Okay, why don't we talk about the eldest of the group, Josh? Come on. Come on, Josh Collin. Come on. I'm obsessed with this line from Wild Tonight. Perhaps out of all Josh's songs, the one that I have on the heaviest loop. I swear, oh my goodness, I can't stop listening to that song. It's so amusing that he really was able to circumnavigate, right? The advantages that he has acquired because of his good looks, and how that doesn't end there, all right? That along with that, his beauty becoming ageless transcends time, but also becomes richer because along with that, his earning wisdom. So smart, so smart. Oh my god, I love it. It tickles me fancy how Josh really sort of touched on visuals by corresponding it with matters of wisdom. By really using the platform of seniority, right? Because what does that tell us? How did he execute that so wonderfully? By really telling us that his beauty not just transcends time, but along with that, what's really evolving is his wisdom. And it's stunning. It's more beautiful to grow like that. Can you? Those lines are so provoking because it really sort of presents this dare to really ask us, how do we really measure beauty? Is it really just visuals? Because if we will acquire wisdom along with that, whether or not you just choose one or both, Josh really says, so what? I can do both. I can do both. Go on, challenge me. Fahrenheit 451 is not just solely centered on the protagonist Guy Montag's dilemmas, right? This has a number of richly layered characters who have several degrees of grayness, and I love that about characters, great characters. And it's such a stunningly easy, almost effortless choice to pick this SB19 member as the most electric embodiment, all right, of versatility, diversity. Still, my goodness, the talents of this man is sort of like an evidence that, yeah, life is not fair. Some people really have everything. Stell, oh my goodness, the way this man can really sing, dance, and really be that way in the entertainment industry and interact with people of all demographics. And now he can even songwrite and rap. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Is it obvious now? Is it obvious now that this man is my bias wrecker? Is also my mom's SB19 bias, mind ya. Yeah. Still. Alam mo ba na bukod sa aking mukha daming bagay pa ang pwede kong itinda. Wag mo nang alamin baka maingit ka. Very crystal clear, right? It's almost glaring. So grand. It's great how his lines at Kalakal really tells us he's so aware that he possesses so much treasure. Okay? And I think I'm gonna tear up. um, if we are going to circle back with that realization that he chose to be his ending for that impromptu rap part at the Thanksgiving concert, where he said, alam niyo ba, hindi na kami mag-aaway dahil sa isang miss. Kasi ngayon lahat kami may pambili na kahit pinapromis kaya. Let's go. And then the lines that he thought of at Kalakal, where he declared, Stell is aware that the earnings that they acquired is such a very different, special kind of wealth. Not just monetary, although yes, a huge chunk of it is, but the experiences, their learnings, their strengths, and all of their accomplishments just they've grown, they've grown. And then we come at the parts of Fahrenheit 451 that I consider perhaps the most stirring, okay, closest to my heart. Um, it talked about how vulnerability can be, sure, a villain that paints you as a victim, fine, but it can also be a voice, a vision that turns you into a victor. Why is alliteration something I'm so guilty of always utilizing? I will not apologize. I'm fond of alliteration, okay? I'm fond of alliteration. Vulnerability, possible potential of being a weapon of violence. Hmm? Let's talk about Ken Phillips' songwriting, okay? One thing about Ken, I'm sure this is also already praised or noticed by so many people, but for me personally, I'd like to take some time to really applaud him for his affinity with languages. Maybe some people might think Ken doesn't really speak much, but to me, it's so telling that uh, of course, SB19 also tries, right? But it's so striking, really, that Ken, whenever they go out of the country, he's so quick to demonstrate his knowledge about the languages of the places that they visit. Remember, Bahasa Indonesia, right? And when they come to Japan, of course, even the most recent one, when they were at the Taiwanese radio show, right? Um, Ken, being the one coming from Visayas, always inserts the Visayan language in his songwriting. And I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him because he really uses that and is never apologetic about that because he knows it's nothing to be sorry about. It's a talent. The character development that this guy Montag protagonist underwent is something that you will also learn a lot from. To me, it's so winning when you listen to Philippe's Ken's album, Seven Sins, right? Come on, when you listen to Wrath, um, oh my goodness, it's so great that he is aware. The lines indicate he's aware that his lines may not be understood by a lot, may not be appreciated by many. So what? It's not his fault. It's their low IQ level's fault. It's so good. And then ache. If you haven't teared up or cried or sobbed with ache, I'm sort of going to question you because how? It's one of the most powerful lines ever. Thank you. Thank you for the Ken, thank you. Do I still need to introduce my bias? Unnecessary, right? We know him. We know that his mind, his heart, his soul, his hands for songwriting is just designed for storytelling, yes. A storyteller of his own design, yes. But my words will be insufficient. The way I want to quote the entire Fahrenheit 451 book to you is how I feel towards all the songs, all the compositions of Pablo. I'm not exaggerating. At gunpoint, I cannot answer. Alright? Every single song, the lines that he can come up with, Pablo really represents a lot of the sadness and sufferings of aspiring writers and storytellers discovering that passion at a young age. Because we know that early in our lives that it's so easy to befriend solitude and silence. Because the world is not gracious, the world is not always generous won't always give you the attention, the time for you to be listened to be heard.
Pang may tenga sa mga pulong ko, kahit pa ba sumigaw ay malabo. Oh, at tao po, pakinggan nyo naman ako.
And Pablo knows that, you know what? Your very first audience, also going to be your final and forever audience, will be God. At a time when anything that makes us vulnerable, lyrics that make us cry, lyrics that make us sad are always regarded as ay corny, ay jologs, ay ang drama, ay ang arte, ay baduy, ay hindi yan magba-viral, ay hindi trendy, nakakasawa. Pablo would write it down. Powerful and empowering. Their leader is like this. The whole group is like this. It's so easy to love them. It's so easy to be devoted to them. The thing about aspiring storytellers and writers, if we talk about fears, you know what's one thing that we're so scared of admitting? That we are such overthinkers. Okay? Can I present an example of my overthinking? This is just me being the Lulu, alright? Okay? Pablo dreaming of wanting to pursue music during his college days, but still opting to choose English because he's being rational and logical about his decisions, about what could help his family. Kind of really introduces very swiftly to me that one of his love languages is really giving, provisioning, providing to people that matter to him. All right? And he has grown so much over the years of their journey. But take a look at his most recent album. What did he say at Puyat?
Maranasang sabihin sa aking mga mahal, sige lang kuha ka lang, sige lang kuha ka lang.
And then let's trace back to several years ago, all right? Because this is so fresh because of that crap story of the miss, all right? Imagine always wanting to provide and help out when the people that matter to you is in need. And you're just being asked for missed. And you could give yours, but it's nearly empty. Paubos ka na eh. Paubos ka na. So you hesitated, right? But after a few moments, you still decided, kahit na mauubusan ako, gusto ko pa rin ibigay eh.
Si Pijo, sabi sa akin, bro, sige na nga, gamitin mo na yung risk ko.
And then, when you try to give it a chance, try to step up, you are rejected. You were told it's too late, it's no longer necessary. So, this is not to justify his actions or his reaction, okay? No, I'm not defending him. I'm just trying to sort of put myself in Pablo's shoes, okay? And then, spending days contemplating about your despair over the pain that you caused, okay? Coming back, taking that person, saying sorry, and hugging, embracing him, them, and then trying to improve yourself going forward. And then several years later, you entrusted this member of your team a song called Anino, where the lines says this. Fahrenheit 451, SB19. Such beloved reminders that there are so many chapters of our lives. Where are we? Not yet the end. Wherever we are right now, something's gonna happen. Is it something to remember? Sure. When we turn the pages of our lives, you will always remember this part of the plot, right? Are you having a character development? Thank you very much for spending time with me, for enjoying this. I really am so thankful always for the comments. I appreciate that so much. Shout out to the one friend who always takes gracious time to listen to me and to write her feedback to me. Friend, para, sis, okay? You know who we are. The storytellers in us, story lovers. Batayon. We live on, right? Yes. Give Fahrenheit 451 a chance. Give SB19 a chance. Happy Halloween? More like, we are gonna win. Corny. Eh, ano? Thank you so much for watching. See you November.